What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co-host, Alex Wilson. And to recap day 2 of the NFL draft for the New York Giants, man, this was an exciting day for Big Blue. There were 3 players that we saw consistently mocked to the New York Giants with the 25th overall pick. One of them was Deonte Banks, right? And the Giants just drafted him last night. A couple of those other players, I mean, we saw plenty, but a couple of them were center, Michael Schmitz, wide receiver, Jalin Hyatt. Well, guess what, guys? All 3 of those players are New York Giants today. Let's freaking go. Joe Schoen, what a masterclass. I mean, an unbelievable first 3 rounds of the 2023 NFL draft from our second-year general manager. The Giants with the 57th overall pick, they stick, they pick, they get Michael Schmitz, a player that many believed would go to the Giants with the 25th overall pick. A lot of fans were begging for JMS at 25. A lot of analysts were mocking him to the Giants at 25. They get him at 57. Insane value. And to make matters even better for the New York Giants, another player who was mocked to them at 25, who fans wanted at 25, or at least in the second round, 57, is Jalin Hyatt, Tennessee wide receiver. They get him at 73 overall. From 25 to 73. What insane value right there for the Giants to get 3 players who were at one point considered first-round prospects through 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3, just like that. This is just incredible. I'm reeling over this. I am super excited as a Giants fan. I am very impressed with Joe Schoen. This is how you find value in the 2023 NFL draft. You stick, you pick, you wait, you make your trades up when you need to. But listen, the Giants just got 3 players who can have instant impact on this roster. You're talking about Deonte Banks, instant starter at CB2, but then you're talking about Michael Schmitz, who's probably an instant starter at center, and Jalin Hyatt, who's definitely an instant starter at the wide receiver position, giving the Giants a deep threat, big play element that they were sorely missing last season. So these 3 picks, man, I am so excited by them. But Alex, I want to give you a chance to dive into them, give your reaction on them. But before we do, make sure to leave a like if you do enjoy this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review. But without further ado, Alex, how are you feeling today, my friend? And what are your thoughts on the rounds 2 and 3 picks for the New York Giants?
Guys, what Joe Schoen just did, what he just executed, the masterclass that we just witnessed, my friends, we got 3 first-round value picks in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. There were people out advocating for Deonte Banks in the first round. There were people advocating for Michael Schmitz in the first round. There were people advocating for Jalin Hyatt in the first round. We got all 3 of those players in the first, second, and third. Tell me that's not an A-plus draft by all accounts. If you don't like this draft, you can respectfully get the hell out. Just get the hell out, because this is ultimately one of the best draft class we've seen from a Giants general manager and a Giants front office in a very long time. Michael Schmitz, guys, is an instant impact player at the center position. What I love about all these players, their floors are very high, they're instant starters, and their upside is above average. All 3 of them. Banks has CB1 elite upside, one of the best athletic defensive backs we've seen in the last decade. You look at JMS, he's a tremendous run blocker. If Saquon is on this team in 2023, he is going to freaking love that man for Christmas. He's going to buy him a damn freaking car. And if you look at Jalin Hyatt, the speed that he brings is going to make it almost impossible to cover up Darius Slayton on the other side. You know, boundary receiver, you have Paris Campbell, now you got Darren Waller, speed, freaking speed. The Giants went out and said, we had the slowest wide receiver group in the entire NFL last year. Let's change that narrative. Let's go get a guy that has 4.4 speed, blow it off the top, get the hell downfield explosive playmaking speed. Darren Waller, one of the fastest tight ends in football when he's at the top of his game and healthy, easily top 3, top 2 tight end in the game. Jalin Hyatt, one of the fastest players in this draft class at the receiver position. He is going to blow the top off of defenses. And ultimately, we needed explosive playmakers. We needed a reason to force defenses to play deeper in the secondary, because ultimately they were stacking the box, they were stopping the run, they were making our offense one-dimensional, and they were completely demoralizing our unit. This is going to keep them honest. You can't beat us all the time with just stacking the box anymore. You have to respect our speed, and that's what the Giants, Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka are doing here. Jalin Hyatt is a sick pick at 73. Moving up and giving up 89 and 128. That is a great pick. The Giants' next pick is in the 5th round. Enjoy day 3, because we just kicked ass in day 1 and 2. That was a tremendous pick. I want to let you give your chance to kind of speak on Jalin Hyatt, what he brings to this offense. You know, very, very good player. A lot of people, like I said, had him in the 1st round. He slipped to the second round. Then he slipped to the third round. The Giants said, I don't think we can wait that much longer, because right after him, Cedric Tillman was taken. And then you had another receiver go off the board a couple picks later. There was about to be a run. Giants didn't wait. They didn't risk it. And they went and got their guy, and it ended up being a great decision. What are you thinking about the Hyatt pick? That was a really good move from Joe Schoen in that entire front office.
Yeah, personally, I like the trade. I'm willing to sacrifice a 4th-round pick to move up there and get a player who you think is a day one starter in your offense. And not only a day one starter, but a dynamic receiving weapon in your offense in Jalin Hyatt. So I'm more than willing to sacrifice that draft pick to move up to 73 overall and get Jalin Hyatt. My pro comp for him, I watched him. I threw a pro comp out there on the Instagram. It's Deshaun Jackson. Now, I know that's a name not a lot of Giants fans like to hear, but hey, maybe we can get our revenge on those pesky Eagles and everyone else who hurt us with Deshaun Jackson by drafting Jalin Hyatt, a player who maybe doesn't have that wide receiver 1 potential. Maybe he's not that alpha dog, that every down receiver, but he is a truly special WR2. Like, this is a guy who will absolutely, his floor in the NFL, in my opinion, and in the opinion of Lance Zierlein of NFL.com, in the opinion of Keith Sanchez of the Draft Network, all these major credible sources, including myself, not that I'm majorly credible, but the floor for this guy is wide receiver 2 in an NFL offense. So when you're taking a safe high floor pick in round 3, but also having that insane boom, high ceiling potential in a guy like Jalin Hyatt, you have to be excited about this because he is a deep burner. He has elite speed. He has elite yards after the catch ability. He's an okay route runner, not the best, but this is a guy who plays inside. He plays outside. He moves around the offense, and he does a lot of great things for an offense. And again, he separates with his speed. He has a decent amount of physicality. Is he the strongest, most imposing receiver? No, absolutely not. He's 6'1", 176 pounds. He's skinny. He's light, but he runs fast. He runs like he's light. Like, this is one of the fastest players on the New York Giants right now. I think he ran about a 4.46 or so at the combine, but if you watch his game tape, his game speed is definitely higher than his underwear running combine speed. This guy is crazy on the field. This is your 2022 Fred Biletnikoff Award winner. For those of you who don't know, the Fred Biletnikoff Award winner is the best wide receiver in college football in the calendar year. Jalin Hyatt won that award. He caught 15 touchdown passes, put up 1,200 yards for Tennessee in the SEC. The SEC, guys, he went up against Alabama. Have you seen his stats against Alabama? 6 receptions, 206 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns in one game against freaking Bama, dude. That's an elite talent if I've ever seen one. I mean, that is one of the best college wide receivers ever. He's a Biletnikoff Award winner. He's objectively one of the best college wide receivers ever. And now he's on the New York Giants. Will he be one of the best NFL wide receivers ever? No, probably not. Who knows? But it's possible because this guy is super talented and he does add something to the Giants offense that has been missing for a long time. Big play threat, home run hitter, deep ball catcher, and a big run after the catch guy. He can do a lot of things for the Giants offense. And Joe Schoen just said, did he think going into this draft that they would be able to grab all 3 of these players? He said, not really. I didn't think there was a chance. And you know what? There wasn't much of a chance in the eyes of many, but to the New York Giants, they found a way to make it happen. And they got 3 players that they brought in, 4 top 30 visits. Very important. Joe Schoen loves to grab those guys that he interviews personally. They interviewed Jalin Hyatt. They interviewed Michael Schmitz, and they interviewed Deonte Banks. They grabbed all 3 of these players, and through 2 rounds, through 2 nights of the NFL draft, I'm thrilled. I'm incredibly impressed with Joe Schoen. Like, this is how you crush an NFL draft. This is how you turn a franchise around. This is how you build a contender. You find these value picks. The Giants found a way to get value through all 3 of these picks. I mean, Deonte Banks, everyone was saying, oh, I'd love him on the Giants. I don't think he falls to us. He did. We got him. Oh, Michael Schmitz would be amazing in the second round. I don't think there's any chance he falls to 57. He did. We got him. Oh, Jalin Hyatt would be amazing with the 25th overall pick. We got him in the 3rd round. Look at that. That is just how you do it. That is how a good general manager builds a contending roster. So I'm incredibly impressed with Joe Schoen through 3 rounds, through 2 nights of the 2023 NFL draft. I honestly have to give him a very high score. This is at least an A grade in my opinion. And when you're just looking at this, I do believe that the Giants found 3 day one starters. And again, you ask me, what is my take on the Jalin Hyatt pick? Do I think he's a WR1? No. But the value is amazing for a 3rd round pick in Jalin Hyatt. So I love that selection. But Alex, before we wrap, I just want to know, John Michael Schmitz, we haven't really given too much of our take on him. Let's dive into him right now. I believe he's a potential day one starter at the center position. In fact, not even potential. I think he is our day one starter at center. What a selection of 57 overall. How are you feeling about John Michael Schmitz in the second round?
How am I feeling? I feel like $1,000, feel like $1 million right now, man. This is the best draft I've seen in a long time. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. We just walked away with 3 first-round graded players by a lot of accounts in the first 3 rounds of the draft. I don't know if you just saw this, Joe Shane. They asked him, "Did you think that you could get JMS and Jalin Hyatt in the rounds 2 and 3?" And Joe Shane said, "Not really." He chuckled, saying, "Not really. I didn't think I was going to be able to get those guys." This fell to us like a gift from the football gods to satisfy our pain. Guys, we have been in pain for so freaking long. The football gods just gifted us something. They gave us a tremendous draft in what was thought to be a weak class. We just landed 3 players with legit upside. They believe, like you said, Deshaun Jackson type comp for Jalin Hyatt. Boomer bust potential. Hopefully with our coaching staff, it's a boom. The guy is wide receiver 2 potential instantly, right? He could be a WR2 on day 1 for this Giants team. The upside hasn't even been exploited just yet. JMS, you said he could be a starter. I'm going to go ahead and say he's our freaking starter already, okay? Ben Bredesen, go back to left guard. Thank you very much, sir. Mark Lewinsky, stay at right guard. But hopefully we upgrade that position at some point. Shane Lemieux, you can get the hell off the team. There's a lot of players here who should not be on this roster. JMS solidifies the center position for the next 4 years at the very least, and he is a tremendous player. He's going to help open up this run scheme for us. He's a really, really good zone scheme center. He can get to the second level, showcase that speed and athleticism at the second level to curate those blocks. His pass protection is good enough. It's going to develop. You got really good coaching. And one thing about centers that goes under the radar, IQ, high intelligence. These centers need to understand, blitzing concepts, help to organize the offensive line, help to keep the snap count down, do all these important things. He's one of the smartest centers in this draft class. He passed every single test with flying colors that Bobby Johnson threw at him. That's an important variable to mention. He's smart as hell. And that's what you want in your center. Smart player who doesn't make the same mistake twice. 2 sacks allowed in his entire collegiate career. JMS. Love to see it. Love that pick. Love the Hyatt pick. A couple of receivers went off the board right after him. The Giants made a great choice trading up and getting their player, getting their guy. Jalin Hyatt is a wide receiver 2 on day 1 with a lot more upside to spare. I am over the moon right now. This couldn't have gone better. Guys, if you don't like this draft, like I said earlier in the episode, get the freaking hell out of here. Get out. Just delete yourself. That is not what this is. This is A+ Joe Shane draft. Will these players pan out? We don't know. But based on their prospect value charts, based on all of their value, based on everything that we know about these players, this couldn't have gone better when it comes to addressing value positions that needed to be addressed for the Giants specifically, and players that had first-round grades for a lot of teams. And these guys, second, third rounds, we're getting these type of players. This is why we have the coaching staff and the front office we do right now. This is why we have the decision makers that are here making these excellent decisions. Our mid rounds are no longer a graveyard, my friends. We're getting value from our mid round picks now. Finally, thank the freaking gods, because the last couple years before Shane and co was a just complete disaster. So I'm ecstatic right now. I'm over the moon. Giants don't have that many more picks left in this draft class, but even if we ended it today, I'd be ecstatic about what we walked away with.
Listen, I don't know how you can't be. If you're criticizing this draft, I don't know where you're coming from, because this is, like we said, these were 3 players that we saw mocked to the Giants at 25 overall. And they just grabbed all 3 of those players through rounds 1, 2, and 3. This was an incredible first 3 rounds of the draft, in my opinion. And I think that the New York Giants are sitting in a very nice and very pretty position right now. Joe Shane is going to be unanimously praised right now, because he's done something truly special in this draft class. And I like what you said there. Will all 3 of these players pan out and be amazing starters in the NFL? Who the hell knows? Maybe not. But when you look at it in a vacuum in terms of the context of the draft, right, where these players were projected to go and where they were taken, the Giants drafted players who were projected to go way higher than they went for all 3 of these picks. Like John Michael Schmitz was a first-round pick by many accounts. Deontay Banks was a top 15 pick. Jalin Hyatt was a first or a second-round pick. They got all of these guys at tremendous value, and that's just what I want to harp on here, because it's not necessarily like I'm so confident that all of these guys are going to pan out and be elite NFL players. No, you never know in the NFL draft. It's always a crapshoot. You can get the most sure thing of all time with the first overall selection, and he just pans out to be nothing. We've seen that. Baker Mayfield, right? He was the first overall pick. What did he turn into? We've seen it so many times. But the thing that you really want to take away from this is that Joe Schoen is drafting for value. He is getting incredible value with all of his selections, and that's something that will instill confidence in you and allow you to say, hey, the Giants are doing the right thing. They are building this team the right way, going through value. And so that's why I'm very happy with these first 3 rounds, and I'm super excited. So Deonte Banks, Michael Schmitz, Jalin Hyatt, welcome to the New York Giants. This is so exciting to see these 3 players going to be wearing big blue this upcoming season. I can't be more thrilled about it. Alex is thrilled about it, and I want to know how thrilled you are down below in the comment section. So make sure to leave your thoughts down below, and make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review. We will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants.
TVSO.